So I lost 25 kilos without giving up gaming. It helped me become a better role model for my kids, and now I help many other people do the same. If you feel stuck between the life you have now and the life that you want, I'm here to help you. What's going on, guys? Coach Andrew from Max Mode Fitness here, and I'm gonna give you just some of the main things that I did to help me lose 25 kilos, get into the best shape of my life without giving up gaming. Which, I mean, what kind of life would that be, right? So 6 years ago, I was 105 kilos. I used to game every night. I used to snack every night. And I always wanted to change. I always wanted to become better than I was. Especially because when I was younger, I was really active. I used to do a lot of sport. I used to do a lot of martial arts. And I was always so active, I was so slim. And it was always so hard to get that motivation to be like, oh, I used to be able to do this and I used to be able to do that. And it just created this barricade, like I couldn't push past what I was to become something better. And it wasn't until my daughter was born 5.5 years ago that I decided to finally make a change. And now I'm 80 kilos. I just recently competed in a martial arts tournament. I did kickboxing and jiu-jitsu, and I still game all the time, as much as I possibly can, juggling work and kids and all that stuff. Look, I can't be like that person on Twitter pumping 130 hours into the first 2 weeks of Monster Hunter. I wish, am I right? But I still have weekly Marvel Rival sessions with one of my mates. I still make time to try and play Monster Hunter. I'm slowly making my way through my gaming backlog, and that's something I never really wanted to give up because gaming has been such an influential part of my life. It's been such a massive part of my life. And I think it's important to have that balance, to know that we don't have to give up the things that we love to become the best version of ourselves. I'm gonna give you the 3 main things that I did that really helped me get the results that I wanted. So the first thing I did was I introduced resistance training. Now, at the time, I was pretty fresh. I didn't really know what I was doing. I just kind of like looked up a few videos, looked online, then went to the gym and just did whatever. And I didn't enjoy it. I didn't know what I was doing. I had no guidance. It was just felt like I was flailing about in the gym. But over time, I developed a real curiosity and an interest in it. And then when I started seeing results, everything just kind of like compounded from there. I just was like, ooh, maybe if I do this, and then maybe I do that. And then you eventually find a way of training that you really enjoy. So I, for one, am a real big fan of the more athletic style weight training, like strength and conditioning. It's actually what inspired me to become a personal trainer and actually go work in a UFC gym. And not only was I a PT in that gym, helping people lose weight and become the best version of themselves, but I was working alongside competitive amateur fighters competing in jiu-jitsu and MMA and kickboxing and helping them become the best fighter that they could be. And that stuff was really interesting to me. And I think that's the key. You gotta find a style of training that really motivates you, that really like makes you want to go to the gym. I could ramble about that shit all day. I love it. You get into like contrast supersets and power training and all that kind of good stuff, like energy systems and all that stuff. Oh, love it. Now, the second main thing that I did, and this is probably the most important thing, is you have to fix up your diet. Now, I'm not saying you have to track everything. Don't get me wrong, that does help. And it's actually one of the main things that I do like to focus on with clients. When I was first making this journey, I didn't actually count any calories for that 25 kilos that I lost. All I did was I cut out a lot of the bad stuff. If you stop drinking your calories, so I was really bad on Dare iced coffee. I used to smash it. And vanilla Coke, oh, love that stuff. If you cut that stuff out or you move to like the no sugar versions of those drinks, that alone is gonna play dividends. I was never a big drinker, but cutting out alcohol is also a massive, massive change that you can make that will generate some really amazing results. But another thing that I did, I really started to cut out a lot of sides and a lot of snacks. I stopped having any kind of hot chips with my food. So for example, if I ordered like a steak, I wouldn't get steak and chips, or maybe I'll get steak and veggies. And the snacking is a killer. 99% of the time when you are eating after dinner, it is always bad food. So the trick is you find out what your weakness is. Mine is ice cream. I love me some ice cream. And you either have to find a healthy alternative that you can manage within the confines of your diet, or you cut it out and maybe only have it once a week instead of every night. I did find recently this like light ice cream, and it's pretty low calorie. So maybe if I ration it out in a decent manner, I could have a little bit of ice cream every night. Doesn't that sound great? Ice cream every night, lose weight. What a time to be alive. And the other thing that I did was I fell in love with martial arts again, and which is something that I did a lot as a kid. I came from like karate and judo and all that kind of stuff. And I really kind of reignited a passion for that. And I'm not saying that you have to find a sport, but it's always good to find another hobby. If you don't want to find another hobby, which is totally fine, you don't need it, the other thing I would recommend, instead of doing martial arts or a sport or anything like that, just go for a walk. Walking is the best form of cardio that you could do for weight loss. And the best part is, you can use it strategically, right? So say you're fighting a boss. Maybe you just started Elden Ring and you're going against the Tree Sentinel and he's whooping your ass. And you're just like, oh man, I need a break. Go for a walk, come back, fresh air, the movement, the blood flow, everything will just kind of like reinvigorate you. So if you want some structure to help you get into the best shape of your life, I have a 4-week free beginner program that's gonna help you avoid all the fumbling that I went through when I started. I've been there, I get it. Then jump into the Discord. I'm building a community of like-minded individuals. So if you enjoyed the video, please hit subscribe. I'm gonna deliver you some goods every single week. But until then, YouTube really thinks that this video is pretty cool and you should probably watch it. I don't make the rules, man. YouTube's a smart fellow.